Welcome. So this is probably my very first stream that I'm doing on Facebook. I was actually going to be streaming on, I believe, YouTube, but I didn't realize there was a 24-hour approval process or activation process in conjunction with YouTube streaming. So here we are on Facebook. Never used it before, so I don't know how it's gonna go, but nonetheless, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be talking about Ethereum cryptocurrency, but more specifically Ethereum, as this is my investment, or currently the most coins that I hold anyway, or the only coins that I hold, I should say. I did actually hold Bitcoin back in the day, or back a couple weeks ago, but I just kind of traded it in for Ethereum, and as a sort of new investor or a beginner into the world of investing in crypto, I thought I'd share my experiences, because there's a lot of stuff going around and it can be overwhelming, or for most people it might be a little bit too much of a hassle to actually go around and do your due diligence. So I thought I'd create a channel and obviously see what traction it gains, and obviously give you guys information who, as someone who's actually new and putting in money into the market. So one of the websites I actually use is goldprice.org. It's actually literally, I kind of googled it, and this was the site that sort of came up, and it was kind of giving me quite up-to-date information. The one thing that I do like about the site though is the more aspects here, it gives you an idea as to what the market is pretty much doing. And as you can see, 4 hours ago it was on a sell binge, and which you probably would have seen this massive dip come through here. By the way, I am in Australian time, so it's currently 9 a.m. I've been at it for 2 hours to try and get this stream up and running, but unfortunately we had to settle on Facebook as YouTube wouldn't let me. Well, not today anyway. But yeah, so the times that you'll see here are US times, and I kind of go off of this anyway. I believe the time difference you are looking at if you're in Australia, specifically in Sydney. So for me, it's a 14-hour time difference, I believe. So it's currently 9 o'clock, which over here I think it's around about 7. So 7 p.m. I should say. It's 9 a.m. here, and it's around about 7 p.m. So 14-hour time difference, but I don't mind it, because it means that in some cases when there's a massive dip in the market, I sort of benefit, because it's bright and early in the morning. I can wake up and obviously take advantage of the opportunity, and vice versa. When it's about time for me to go to bed, the market's probably at its peak, so I get to also do a lot of things as well. But what I wanted to sort of do was actually walk you through CoinSpot. It's one of the trusted, I guess, trading aspects or trading exchanges that I use, or I personally think is probably best. I did try Binance, and I think Binance is obviously for more advanced crypto traders, and if you're someone who's got a lot of time on their hands, I would certainly suggest Binance, because it's got a lot more information, it's got a lot more tools, things that you can use, and it looks a little bit prettier. But if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of time and is new to sort of crypto, I think CoinSpot's actually a lot better. It's a lot secure. Fees are a little bit higher, but if you're trading under market, you can keep the fees quite low. Not as low as Binance, but again, still quite relatively low. And also, while we're saying that, Ethereum is currently on an uphill sort of trend, and I actually ended up buying Ethereum. I actually sold it up here, and then I bought it around about here, because I think there was around about a dip here, and then it crashed. I knew the crash was coming, which is based on my sort of research and all of that, but I still did it anyway, because I thought it might have been going up, or for some reason it did this 2 dips and then it was going up. Actually, I bought it here, I think. yeah, when it was going up. So I thought this crash might not happen because it was past the time for the crash anyway. But yeah, I'll talk a little bit more about it in a sec. So firstly, let's look at my overall portfolio. Oh, and before I do that, I'll just go over this one here. So this is one of the things that I really like, and you can update it just by clicking on it, obviously. The downside about this is it doesn't update automatically. Like, this will move like a little bit, but I feel that if I have to really know what's happening with the market, I have to click on this and click back, and then it sort of updates to the latest aspect. So this doesn't always update, so I tend to click every couple of minutes just to sort of see where things are at. But nonetheless, I really like this because it gives me an indication as to what's happening in the market and whether I should be looking to obviously sell off, or whether I should be looking to buy. But anyway, let's have a look at our portfolio here. And I'll talk a little bit about this one here. So I use CoinSpot. I think CoinSpot is probably the best for new investors if you're coming into it, especially if you are in Australia. Or even if you're not, I think generally, like, this is probably the best one to get started. And obviously, as you get more advanced, I would encourage going off to Binance, or if you've accumulated enough crypto coins, then I would suggest going to Binance or any other of the other ones. And obviously, if you made it this far along the video, feel free to check out that affiliate, that referral link that I have. If you sign up using that link and you make an initial deposit, doesn't have to be a big one, you can make $1 deposit, you will get $10 worth of Bitcoin on your account for free just by signing up and obviously using CoinSpot. And I'll walk you through why CoinSpot is actually one of the best for sort of beginners. Number one, obviously, it's nice and quick and easy. It's probably the most secure service. You have to go through ID verifications just as normal sort of exchanges would. Obviously, you have to verify your ID. And it's got a couple of, two-factor authentication services. And obviously you can add those on. You can get a text on your phone. Or use the Google Authenticator app to be able to log into your account. So obviously it's quite secure in that sense. And you've actually got verification options and all of that. I won't click on most of these things as it has my sort of personal details on it. So I obviously don't want to disclose any of that. But nonetheless, this is what it sort of looks like on a general standpoint. Pretty sort of simple and easy to use UI. And as self-explanatory as it is, this is your dashboard. This is what your wallet looks like. If you hold coins, then essentially you should be able to see them. Obviously, I don't hold any of these other ones down here. I did at a point in time, say for example this one, if I click on it, it'll show you at a point in time I held was like $7 worth of it or $8 worth of it before I exited the market, basically selling it off. That's why there's a massive drop. And next up is your buy and sell option. This is if you're looking to buy or if you're looking to sell. Say for example, if I want to sell Ethereum, click on that. Click on the amount that I want to sell. Say for example, that's the coin amount. You can change it to AUD here. So say for example, I want to sell 100 Ethereum. I'll just click on 100 and yeah, and then so it says 0 Ethereum available because it's currently, generally it will show your entire Ethereum collection here, but because I have actually Ethereum allocated to the market where it will automatically sell at a price, there's no Ethereum left for it to allocate here, so that's why this shows 0. But generally it should show how much coins you have here anyway, and then you can sell that. And what generally happens is this will sell it at what the market rate is at that point in time. As soon as you click it, obviously this can go up and down as time progresses, and if for any reason this value changes, you won't be able to sell that through because it'll give you like an error message. And yeah, over here you see you have coins held for open orders, right? So I'll talk a little bit more about that one a little bit later. But And then obviously you've got the buy option, very similar, quick, nice, quick and easy to buy. You've got the option to swap as well. So you got coins that you can say, for example, I can use my Ethereum to swap to an ADA or Bitcoin if I wanted to, and all you need to do is just click swap, and it will swap those coins over based on the rates of each of those coins. And obviously, say for example, if I wanted to swap one Ethereum, I would get like so and so Bitcoin. And then you can obviously put an order through. This is a essentially with this one here, it's a little bit sort of, I guess, when you're dealing with large amounts of money, and if you're not available to obviously like you want to stop your losses, say for example, or take profit based on when it gets up to a certain point, then you can obviously put through these services. This is like the CoinSpot sort of brokers working on your behalf. And then we can also put a buy limit on it and then buy stop on it. So say for example, you had 10 grand that you wanted to sort of put in, and you wanted it to put a buy limit on that. Say for example, I'm not saying put that much money into it, but yeah, those aspects would, I guess, like you can put a limit on that's how much you want to buy, and so forth. Personally, I don't use any of this. I would only recommend using the buy and the sell option for coins that are not that well known or not on the market. Now, I'll probably go over these two and then I'll talk about the markets. So swap, again, similar system to as we saw in the buy and sell. You can click to sort of swap to and from. Bundles, you can choose to buy certain bundles of coins. I personally, again, would not recommend buying this unless you've got nothing better to do. Then feel free to go ahead and buy. Obviously, there are coins in here that can obviously skyrocket, but then there's obviously the option of them to do the exact opposite. My biggest advice to yourself would be just buy the top 3 market cap, and even then I'd probably just kind of consider buying Ethereum or Bitcoin on itself and probably leave that one out of it, to be honest. Personally, if you're looking for something that's gonna be quite big in the short term, I would say Ethereum's better than Bitcoin, but if you're looking to hold for capital, I would suggest go for Bitcoin. I don't actually know what this one is because I've never used it, but I think it's just ordering coins based on yeah, I actually don't know what this is, so I can't really tell you. Let's go to the market. So this is what I mean by not popular coins, right? These are coins that are currently being traded on the market, and the difference between markets and obviously the buy and sell option is that when you buy and sell here, CoinSpot's actually charging you as a broker. So there's a higher rate that goes through. There's a higher fee that's involved versus if you were to do it here. So and essentially what it means is, I think there's a 1%. They've got like a chart as well here, yeah, so essentially what it means is it uses 1%. I think, if I recall, sorry, there's a search option here that you can also look at fees, or I don't remember where exactly it was, but it'll show you what the fees associated with things are. And obviously if you buy through the market on its own, you tend to use less fees here, basically. So if you're looking to save up and capitalize on your gains, sorry, I know it's a bit itchy here, it's a bit cold, as I mentioned, but yeah, if you're looking to maximize your potential profits from each transactions, I would suggest using markets rather than the buy and sell option. I didn't know that until like probably a week into it. And when I first started, obviously I ended up losing $100 to $200, I think, on crypto because I didn't know what I was doing. But then I slowly learned, and yeah, I made an overall $1,000 on this. But yeah, so let's have a look at what my orders are. I will show you what. So this is actually quite easy to use. Basically the way that you do it is you can either choose Ethereum or AUD. So if you wanted to buy, you would use this option here, and say for example you wanted to buy $10 worth of Ethereum, and that's the rate you would buy, and then you just click buy, and then an order will be created, and then you'll sit here in one of the orders for whatever amount you wanted to put the order through for. When the sell price essentially drops to match your price here, then a transaction will automatically occur. And then vice versa on the open sell orders, if you were to looking to sell Ethereum, and you put in however much Ethereum you wanted, say for example 0.25, this doesn't actually have an option to change it to AUD here, but you can obviously choose to put in what rate you want to sell at, and you can obviously put in a higher rate, say for example, and that way when the market obviously increases to meet whatever price you put in, say for example this price here, then your order will be created here, and if the market comes up and matches that, then a transaction will happen. Obviously the other thing to note is, say for example you put in $1,000 worth of Ethereum that you were looking to sell, but then the only person that could match it was someone who was only buying $300 worth of Ethereum, you will only sell $300 worth of Ethereum. So kind of self-explanatory there, but just in case you don't sell the full 1,000, you'd only be selling the 300 that the person's looking to buy, right? Unless someone else comes along and they obviously buy the remaining 700 from you. There's also instances where there aren't sell orders that created there. Sometimes if someone's buying here and they want to buy at the rate that the lowest person's offering here, obviously this is highest to lowest, I believe. And this one's in the reverse order, so it's increasing in price order. This one's decreasing in price order. So say for example if you want to buy at this rate, you can just put down the amount. It doesn't create a buy order, it just automatically kind of transacts with that directly, and that's what the general sort of buy and sell option does for you. But this is better because you get the option to sort of choose which rate you want to buy at, versus the buy and sell order, which basically means that you'll buy at whatever rate it is. So say for example if that price keeps going up, it goes up within a minute, then you pay obviously higher, whereas you can over here you can choose. But anyway, let's look at our current sort of orders. So as you can see, I've got sell orders set up on the 17th to sell at certain prices, and this is probably the best way to do it, to potentially maximize your potential earnings and obviously mitigate your overall losses, and potentially it's more so maximizing your potential gain as well, right? Because you don't know how high a price is going to go, and vice versa, you don't know how low a price is going to go. So you can do the reverse order when you're looking to buy as well. I tend to do that as well because you don't know how low it's going to go. But yeah, so obviously I've got buy orders set up at certain prices that I think are common for it to hit, and then obviously there's a huge jump here and whatnot, and at each price it will sell that much Ethereum, and I'll take away that much, and just to kind of give you an idea of my recent sort of history with I guess Ethereum. Last I bought it was 4470, but I sold it at 4494, so I know for a fact it's gone a little bit higher than that. And because of the EIP 500, was it the London, them basically burning Ethereum is probably the easiest way to put it. The demand for Ethereum is obviously going to go high, and the supply is obviously going to reduce, so basically pushing the price up. So no, Ethereum is going to climb in price, or at least that's what I'm hoping for, and that's why obviously I put a higher price here in terms of the buy prices. Yeah, so that's pretty much it, I guess, with CoinSpot. And the cool thing about CoinSpot as well, and this is probably the best one when it comes to someone who is a beginner, is basically these prices are updated by the minute, not by the second or by the earliest 5 seconds or something, because on Binance the prices are pretty much updated by the minute, or like by the second, I'd say, and you see a massive fluctuation of prices going up by like $1 or 30 cents, and then a dollar or decreasing by $1. So the actual price that you can buy at in Binance is probably like a $1 or $2 difference. And I think the great thing about CoinSpot is the difference in prices that you get to buy at is actually significant, right? So say, for example, here, someone's wanting, if you were to buy here, you're potentially looking at a difference of like $15 generally. And for example, if you were selling something, you could sell for a higher price than what you wanted. Obviously the same goes for Binance, but the price jumps are not as significant. And I think definitely if you're looking to move large amounts of money, I would definitely say Binance. But if you're just getting started, this is probably the easiest and most simplest way to sort of do so. And price jumps are quite common here, and that's what I like about it, I would say. Because a small fluctuation in the market with Binance wouldn't give you as large of a difference as it would on CoinSpot. But yeah, that's pretty much, I guess, mostly what I wanted to talk about. And I guess my predictions on Ethereum on its own. And this is how I sort of do it. So I tend to look at the 5-day average, and then I go back and look at what day and time we're at. So we're on on this, we're at the 18th, at around about 8 p.m. close to 8 p.m. and that falls on the Wednesday. I would tend to go back and I want to look at the 11th and the 4th and see what the market trend was over the last 2 weeks. So what I do is I tend to scroll all the way here. So I'm going to look for the 11th, and I'm going to look at around about 8 o'clock as to where we're at right now. And long behold, at around about 8, we're gonna see, after 8, we're gonna see a massive climb up, quite a substantial amount actually, and then we're gonna see another major drop, I should say, and then the market's gonna rebound off of that drop the next day, and go all the way up by the end of tomorrow. So that's the prediction, at least for this one here. Now, in order to reinforce that, I tend to go back another week just to sort of see what the market was like. So we're going back to the 4th. So let's go all the way back to the 4th. And we're here, 4th, around about 8 o'clock. All right. And surprisingly, at around about 8 o'clock, it's going to do a massive dip here. So it's actually doing the opposite of what the current, essentially what it did last week, where it, during this time, it will sort of rise up. So this is a week before that. And then essentially the rise itself is not that significant. So technically, if you wanted to compare the drop itself, there's a micro rise and then another drop in price, and then it rises. The main thing you have to look at is just the overall sort of trend, right? It goes up and then it starts decreasing, it drops, does a major drop, and then it skyrockets back up to the next sort of level, and that happens pretty much across the next day. So at 8 o'clock here, it will do another drop and then start climbing, and then we'll do a major drop here, and then go all the way up around about or midday the next day, or probably even by the end of the day. And if we go back and look at the 11th once again, you'll see it's kind of a little bit similar, right? It's doing that, and then it's a drop. Same here, and by the next day it's going to drop, and by the end of that day, the following day, or at the start of the following day, it's going to be back all the way up here. So it may not be exact timing to a T, but the trend will repeat itself within the day period, is what I'm sort of trying to say. And surprisingly, this happens with the market always, and I guess it's up to the individual to sort of know and be sort of patient with it. I guess that's like the key thing. I think where I sort of made mistakes and screwed up is I wasn't patient with the market, and then that would lead to me making decisions where it would drop here, and then I would be like, it's probably not going to drop anymore, and then it starts climbing, and I'm like, okay, it's probably going to go all the way up, and then I would buy here somewhere thinking it's going to probably break past this limit here, and then it just climbs, and then it starts dropping even further. So basically I'm losing money at this point. Not really losing value, because I know for a fact that eventually it will come all the way back up. So if I bought it around about here, I know for a fact there will be one day, maybe not the following day or the day after, it will come back to that price, which I can obviously then look to sell at, or maybe even sell at a little bit higher than intended. But nonetheless, you have to be patient with the market, and right now we're seeing this uphill trend, and funnily enough, I feel like it might do another crash and then eventually start going back up. So based on the data that we know, it has the potential to do another crash, and if you're currently holding funds, I would suggest potentially waiting for the second crash before it goes all the way up, because we know for a fact it's going to go all the way up around about between this window here. So anytime after 12 to I guess midnight the following day, so tomorrow. So my recommendation is wait until midnight today and potentially buy some coins, or until you see the next huge drop, which will be down here. Obviously you can always come back to this video and see if I predicted that trend correctly, and then obviously buy here and then wait for it to go all the way up here and then sell that, and then you would have made a nice wee profit. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in. I wanted to keep this short and potentially make this like a daily update thing, but I obviously wanted to introduce you to CoinSpot, and be sure to check out that link. It will probably be just above in the descriptions. Use it to sign up. You only need to deposit like $1 or something, and you get $10 worth of Bitcoin. You know, it's free money essentially, and you can potentially even withdraw that. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's basically free money. The other thing as well is I forgot to show you how to withdraw, but basically you can just click on, there's a deposit option where you can deposit money quickly. You can deposit from your bank. I tend to use this option here because it's basically free, and you then also have the option to withdraw. Obviously it's got my bank details there, but like, yeah, essentially you can look to withdraw. You're more than welcome to deposit money into my bank account if you guys like. But yeah, you've got the option to withdraw, and yeah, like generally the withdrawal process, I do know, takes around about 24 to 48 hours, so it will show you how long it will take. But yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way to do things. But yeah, hopefully you guys liked the information aspect of this particular video. I'm going to talk a lot more about Ethereum, and I do want to sort of show people what trades that I do, and how I obviously ended up making around about 1,000. I put in around about 500, and obviously at the start of this video you would have seen it was around about 5,800, and it's gone up to 5,900. So as you can sort of tell, it's going up. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and obviously I want to take you on a journey where I potentially make even more money just by doing some day trades or swing trades that I think are favorable, and just trying to predict the market. And that way you don't have to do the research and you can just follow along as to what I do. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.